Hello everybody and welcome back to Hearts of Iron, where we are currently so close to being done with fighting in Europe. We're not quite there, but I want to select everybody here and tell them, just get in here. Commit to this. We are so close at this point. Let's just get this done. That actually is going surprisingly well. Excellent. So we're going to keep working on that. That is going to probably take a while. In the meantime, we're planning the invasion of a lot of locations. We don't have the naval supremacy up here in the Newfoundland Sea right now. That's interesting. We have 97%. I don't know what it's talking about. Go ahead and launch this as soon as you can. Why are we not launching this? I don't know. Okay, well, whatever. That doesn't really matter all that much. What we really need to do right now, looks like we won over in Eritrea. That's neat. What we really need to do right now is get finished up in Australia as well. So that would be great, and then we can start working on island hopping out over this direction. And I really do want to get an invasion going up here. I highly doubt that this is going to be successful with this unit here, but I want to find out. Let's see how this goes. Why are we not going? Insufficient naval supremacy. We have 11% here. Fair enough. That is actually fairly true. So in that case, that's fine. We no longer need to have these naval units surrounding Japan. So at this point, we're going to move this guy into the Straits of Malacca. And I'm going to move this fleet over here at this point. And then this fleet is going to move to be probably somewhat down over here for now. So get them moving over, and that'll be absolutely fine. Excellent. So next I want to check up over here. We've not gotten any... Oh, there went a stack wipe. And it wasn't even the one I anticipated. That's really good. We're just about done here. But this is going to be a little bit yet. We have managed to take out half of their units there. That is a very good thing. Now up over here, what's going on with this naval supremacy here? I'm showing us as being at 97% naval supremacy. This is saying we have 0. I'm going to switch this really quickly over to patrol. And now we see 97% naval supremacy. Oh, I see what the problem is. We don't have supremacy here. That's the issue. So we just need to assign these guys to naval invasion support over here as well. And that should do the trick. Yep, onward we go. Fantastic. I didn't notice that we crossed over into this other sea zone. That was the problem. So that seems absolutely fine. Out over this direction, they are down to 1 Alpine unit here. So that is fantastic. Just about done there. Out over this direction, yeah, this is about what I anticipated. So I'm going to leave them attacking this for the time being. That's reasonably fine for right now. Now we're done down here. That means that this force needs to be reassigned, and they're going to head up to here. With their goal being to just offensive line somewhere. Doesn't really matter that much where, I just want them to get going. We're 22 units here. So we lost 2 infantry units at some point. Here's an infantry unit, and here's another infantry unit. Perfect. Do we have any other areas where we lost any units? We haven't been really taking all that much pain in that regard, so that seems good. We'll have these guys come on up over here as well, and we're just going to continue offensive lining out over here. Again, it doesn't really matter where, as long as we move up the coast somewhat. So that seems fine. This invasion over here is pretty much doomed to fail, and we're accepting of that. That's absolutely fine. So these guys are done with this now, and we're just going to delete this order. We're going to do a naval invasion from here to here now. Okay, something about like that. So they'll be prepared to launch that eventually, but they're not there yet. Now, up over this direction, how are things looking? Well, that Alpine unit still has a decent amount of morale, but we're definitely making progress there. Out over this direction, however, we have successfully landed. So, the issue here, of course, is that we need to take another location here, and we need to get some amount of supplies rolling in. So we'll get a naval base constructing. We're under attack here. And we need to push out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 3 units here, and I'm going to grab 3 units here, and I'm going to grab 3 units here. And we're going to launch attacks like this. We have to take additional territory here. And hopefully this is going to go fine. So far, it seems to be. Okay. This is looking good. In fact, this is looking perfect. Absolutely phenomenal. I was concerned that we would have issues with supplies for this attack, but we don't. So that's okay for now. Now, the Marines will eventually run out of... Will eventually run out of supplies out over here, and that's absolutely understood. But as long as we can push out a reasonable amount here, then we'll be fine. So I want to grab one of these units and move them to here to assist with this. Okay. The real question is, how long will it be before this naval base here gets built? And the answer is 22 February. Okay. Well, we'll leave that be for now. I want to check in on Australia here. How are things going down this direction? The answer is kind of slowly, and I'm not terribly surprised about that one, but it'll definitely continue for a little bit here. That seems fine. We're doing convoy raiding out over here. I'd like to do convoy raiding here and here as well, but we just don't have the naval forces for it yet. We'll get there. We do have need of naval forces in other locations right now, so that is absolutely fine. Okay, so they can still attack us here, which is, of course, not necessarily ideal. But at this point, we could start building a second naval base here, which I'm going to do. They can't attack here, and now we just need to hold this line for somewhere around 10 days. So that seems reasonably good for now. Okay, so out over this direction, there's no problem. I'm definitely interested in launching this invasion. We don't have the naval supremacy in the East Indian Ocean at this moment, although we will very shortly. Possibly. We're right at 49, so a little bit of fluctuation might get us there. We'll see. It's a hard maybe, that's for sure. I'm going to start getting all of these units assigned to this, and that means that we're going to have to do more prep time. But that's okay. That will buy us some time here for us to win some of these naval battles, which will be absolutely fine. So over in Australia, things are still pretty delayed out over here. And I'm wondering, can we do better on the supply distribution? Not so much. We can kind of do better on the supply distribution, I suppose. Okay. I think we just continue to press in over here and attack them from 2 fronts. It'll be fine. Eventually. It will eventually be fine. So we're going to wait for the additional forces to come in here. I'm not sure where these are coming from. Ah, okay. They're going to be there pretty quickly then. So that seems good. Have we finished up here yet? Ooh, that's so close. Come in. Get in there. That Alpine unit still holding out, but it can't hold out forever. So that seems good. Out over this direction, it's 1 March. And you know what that means? That means that we've got supplies over here. So I'm going to tell these guys, just offensive line straight to St. John's. And in they go. We should have no problem taking this. This will be absolutely fine. This is not a straight crossing here, so I'm not anticipating significant issues here. We just need to whittle them down a little bit, so that'll be fine. We need to invade here. We're going to need to invade some locations in the Caribbean. Do we need to take over Bermuda? No, we don't. We already control Bermuda, so that seems fantastic. How are things looking out over this direction? This is so close. It's so close. But we're not quite there yet. Noted. So. This naval invasion is actually going, despite the fact that not all of the forces were here yet. That's interesting. At least they were on the way. So at this point, I want to move 2 of these units here, and I want to move the other 2 here. And we need to immediately begin construction of a naval base to support this. I'm also going to build land forts here to help us hold that. Okay, now the question is, will we get here first or not? And these guys need to be assigned over to here, but they can't actually get there as of right now. So that's noted. This attack here is a bit problematic, but we did manage to push that unit out. We're so close to taking that position. We have to push out a little bit and get ourselves a bit of a buffer here. Ooh, one of our marine units just stack wiped there. That's remarkable. I really didn't expect that to happen. There goes another one. Why did they stack wipe? That's wild stuff. Okay, so we're just going to hold here for now. We're not going to attack. I very much didn't expect them to stack wipe like that. So at this point, this attack may well fail. We need to keep that in mind. But it's building us some infrastructure here. And the real question is, how long is it going to take to get a naval base built? I'm going to build a naval base in both locations here, mostly because we're being attacked. We don't make progress on the construction while being attacked, but they've been attacking here very regularly. So we're just looking to buy ourselves a little bit of time here. When is this going to be finished? 9 April? Okay. We absolutely don't want to attack into them here. But the fact that we have 2 locations is a huge, huge deal. I'm very glad that we were able to do that, even if it did cost us 2 Marine divisions. So that's absolutely fine. We can always recruit more Marine divisions. I'm not that concerned about that. It's 4 April right now, and they're not attacking here. Here is the dangerous location for them to attack. 5 April, 6 April. Now they're attacking here. Okay. So they're delaying construction of our naval base a little bit there. What is our new finish date? 11 April. Okay. It's very, very close. How are things looking out over here? Yeah, that's fine. What about up here? That's incredibly close to finishing. Good, good. How are things looking in Australia? This is still largely a standoff down over here. Although it looks like we've made some progress here. Get in here. Why don't you? There we go. So we'll launch those attacks here. Or did we push or did they invade here? I'm actually not sure. It's one of those. So at this point, it's 8 April. They're not, oh, they were attacking here. We did get 1 day of construction there. So at this point, this is not being progressed. Okay, now it's being progressed. The timing is at midnight when we get the progress. So if they're not attacking at midnight, we get progress. And there we go. We have a level 1 naval base here. That is an unspeakably huge deal. So at this point, now that we have that, we need to take one of our army groups. And I'm going to take... Who is nearby? our army group, like, up over here. This isn't an army group, though. I'm going to grab a full army group from, like, Europe. They're going to take a while to get here. I'm not sure where these guys are right now. Yeah, they're going to take a while to get here, but that's okay. So now we're going to put in a front line here, with their goal being to offensive line just as far down here as we can get. Can we get to here? I guess we can. So that's the plan. They're going to execute that, but it's going to take them quite a long time to get here. So that's understood. We've got our forces here. They're getting supplies now, and we should be able to hold out here for a while. We're digging in our land forts, and that should buy us enough time here. How long on those at this point? Okay. So we've managed to get one level of land fort here. It's not a lot. They're pretty regularly attacking here, but the reinforcements are on their way. I'm going to bring in one additional unit over here to help hold this. Yeah. They're attacking this extremely heavily, but looking at their morale levels here, they're really struggling. So that's good. We've moved an additional unit over here that had higher morale, and that seems great. So yeah, they're trying to attack this very, very heavily, but we are on the way with additional forces here. These guys are going to take a while to get there yet, but they'll be arriving eventually. Why did they disembark here just to re-embark here? Okay, whatever. That's odd. That's not the way I would have done that, but sure. So at this point, we've got a toehold here, and that looks great. Down in Australia, things are continuing. I'm going to change this from patrol over... Actually, patrol here is, I think, reasonably fine. We don't really need this unit up here anymore. We are going to need it down in the Caribbean. So I'm going to do that, and we're going to be on patrol for the time being. Okay, so we're working on pushing into St. John's over here. That's going to take potentially some time. That's fine. We are done in Denmark. This is complete. So that's fantastic. Now then, down over this direction, this is our first army that's going to be arriving here. They're all taking this path. Is there a strait here that's blocked for us? I don't know why they've decided to path like this. That's odd, but whatever. This is our first reinforcement unit here, and they are on their way. I think we've successfully held here at this time. I don't think they're going to easily dislodge us, so that's good. This is what level of naval base right now? This is a level 1 naval base, so it's not a very high naval base. Holy, okay, we have 10.3 million manpower. That is like 9 million more manpower than we had a few minutes ago when I last checked that. We must have finished up a couple of cores here. We were working on 2, I believe, and now we're working on none. So that's absolutely what's happening there. I'm going to get 2 additional cores going here. That seems good. That is so powerful to be coring those Chinese provinces. It's insane. We do need to work on war propaganda and exhorting heroism, so we're going to do that. Our war support is still absolutely 0, but whatever. So they're really, really struggling to dislodge us here, and it's going to get far worse for them. This naval base is going to be overtaxed. I do want to be clear about that. And I want to make sure that there's a railway between these 2 locations. So we're going to do that, and we're going to have these additional naval bases finish up eventually. This has been under very heavy attack out over here. So that's definitely happening. Okay. This first army is going to be arriving over here relatively soon. And keep in mind, this is one of the largest against us at this moment. We do need to attack basically everything in Oceania, so that's definitely a thing. I want to grab these guys and tell them offensive line all the way up to here. And I want to do that for all of these units that are over here. So offensive line up to here. And offensive line up to here. Okay. So they're working on that now. That'll be fine. And all of this over here, I'm not in a huge rush for that. That seems okay. As far as this up here goes, we're still holding the line. Looks good. We're actually pretty close to 2 additional levels of naval base. There goes 1. So we now have a level 2 naval base in Sumatra. That's perfect. And our next level of naval base is going to be done on 20 May, as long as they don't keep attacking us. So that looks good.
Hey, come on.
Now, our first reinforcements have arrived, and that's definitely causing us some supply issues. No doubt about that. I'm going to leave the Marines here to hold the line. They don't have attack orders. They're just supposed to hold here. There's that second naval base finishing up over here. So we can see this naval base definitely overstretched. This naval base, we're going to need additional supplies flowing in. But we have some anyway. So that looks good. And we're going to have more reinforcements coming in there very, very rapidly. Honestly, why are we attacking here? And not defending over here. Okay, that's exciting. I guess the reason is because we have more places to attack from down here. That makes sense, but if we could cut off Darwin, that would stack wipe these units. But I think that's actually less possible than pushing this way and then going for Darwin. So that seems okay for now. So we have these forces over here. They're beginning to fight back over this way. Seems good. Yeah, excellent. And we've got more forces on the way in. We've got this entire army group on the way. So that is going to be a very significant front out over this way. Ah, this is fully under our control now. So what we want to do then is we want to come down this direction and start running some Caribbean invasions. So this is going to be from like Miami over to here. Now this isn't going to be in the Caribbean Sea. So we're going to need these guys to be up in the Florida coast as well. Something like that. Okay, so that seems fine for the moment. This is technically cut off here, isn't it? As soon as the autosave is over. Okay, you're traveling there. Yes, that seems good. Travel here. Beautiful. Because I don't think these guys have access to supply. So that looks good. We're going to continue to push them back over this direction. And then once we have this position, that's when we're going to start fully attacking Darwin. But we're going to need to reposition some of these units first. So that's absolutely fine. I want to grab the people that are assigned to this. There's actually a lot assigned to this. Get in here, eliminate this. Perfect. So we're making progress here in Australia. That seems good. Are we making any progress up here? Well, it's a little tough. This naval base is still a level 1 naval base. This is a level 2 naval base. They are going to improve, and our supply flow over here is going to get a lot better. But we're overstretching our supply, and we knew that that was going to happen. So it's going to take a little while before we're in a good position over this way. But we are about to get 2 additional levels of naval base out here, which will be a significant improvement for us. No doubt about that. This is now a level 3 naval base, and this is going to be a level 3 naval base shortly. And if we can take this, that's another level 1 naval base. But we will see if that ends up being an actual thing or not. So for now, that seems fine. Of course, we've got these invasions planned out over here, and this force needs to be on naval invasion support, and we're going to position them out over here and also out over here. There we go. So we're going to do that for right now, and these guys can start executing their plans if they have the naval support to do so. Which they may or may not at any given moment. Right now, I don't think they do. So that seems fine for now, and these are getting into position down here. They're going to be launching this eventually, Not yet. So that seems fine for now. What is our naval situation here? 15% naval supremacy here. Okay. Well, we may not have that anytime soon, but if they move out of this area, that's fine. So that sounds good. I want to check in here. We are now winning both of these engagements. This is a level 2 naval base. This is a level 3 naval base. And we can see we're still very overstretched on our supply out over this direction. Not shocking at all. We're making some progress on boosting the size of these naval bases, but I think they're fully retreating from here. They haven't taken huge amounts of damage, so those forces are still pretty powerful. Okay, so we did in fact take this position. That looks good. I want to build land forts here, and I want to immediately begin upgrading this naval base, and I want to connect these via road. So that's great. We now have an additional level of naval base here. Perfect. And we're going to be able to dig in here as well. They're going to have a very hard time dislodging us at this point. That's for sure. It is, however, about time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to see about taking over the rest of Australia, hopefully, although that's been a slow, grinding battle. And we're looking to break this open, and I think that'll happen pretty soon, actually. They're starting to lose combat effectiveness out over this way, so that looks good. More supplies in will be for the best. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, Rornaz, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time. Also, I just noticed. Look at that. We've got war support. Barely, but we've got war support.